planning to use ND filters on action cameras? From choosing the right one to configuring the shooting modes and making awesome footage, here's everything you need to know. Hey buddy, good to see you. So you're looking for tips and tricks about using action cameras and ND filters? I think you're at the right place. Nice to meet you. I'm the Tech Mishkin. I've been using action cameras way before I started the work on this channel, and I've tested countless crazy accessories, but ND filters are something that I always carry with me when I go outdoors and film with action cameras. And something you probably noticed from all the reviews I've done for e-bikes, electric scooters, everything that requires some outdoor footage with an action camera, it always looks a bit cinematic, very smooth, not over-sharpened. There's a bit of motion blur usually, and when I record displays, they never do this super annoying flickering. All of this thanks to the use of ND filters. So this is going to be more of a tutorial. A big shout out to the sponsor of the video, TELESIN, who are, well, also providing the ND filters I'm about to use with the GoPro Hero, with the DJI Osmo Action, but I'm going to tell you more about this in just a moment. So why should we use ND filters when we are recording videos? Would probably be your first question, and I don't like this wording that much, but if we say cinematic, in this case, that would be rather accurate, you know, kind of close feeling to what you get from watching a movie recorded in Hollywood, because you can relive the scene, everything feels smooth, pleasant to the eye. It's how the human eye perceives everything that we see around us. There is, of course, science behind that, and in order to make our footage look really great and bring it to the next level, we definitely need ND filters. What else would be necessary? Of course, that would be a suitable action camera, something that is compatible with proper ND filter controls. And in order to achieve so, we need something which is rather decent, giving us some pro-grade features. We need at least control over the shutter speed and the ISO, and I'm going to help you to understand both of these values. The shutter speed, this is the value representing the speed at which the shutter of a camera closes. Fast shutter speed means that everything will look sharp and maybe a bit dark because the sensor is exposed to light for a super short period of time. The long shutter speed exposes the sensor to light for greater amounts of time and also can make things a bit blurry because things are usually moving. Here we talk about a minor part of a second. The other parameter, ISO, is about the sensitivity to light. Both can make your exposure brighter or respectively darker. And in action cameras, they are usually controlled automatically. But I will gradually teach you how to use the manual settings and give you some tips and tricks about it. And you can use this knowledge in any other camera with manual controls. So to the question what we need, I feel that there are 4 ingredients needed. An action camera, here we're going to try the latest GoPro and Osmo Action both, proper ND filters, and here we use these from TELESIN. You need some knowledge and a lot of patience and passion, of course. Choosing the right action camera is not easy because options are many. You've watched a lot of reviews on the channel about them, hopefully. And here I'm gonna stick with the most popular ones. As for ND filters, this is the pack for Osmo Action 3, 4 and 5. Yes, great news because they are compatible with a few generations backwards. ND 8, 16 and 32, the ND numbers which are equivalent to stops, respectively 3, 4 and 5, it's theory that you may not really need right now. We also get a CPL filter, which can reduce flares and glares, makes video look crispier and a bit more vivid, great for landscapes, especially with water. For GoPro Hero 13, these are, in my opinion, the most convenient option, even better than the originals. Besides costing less, you can swap them in seconds, unlike what it is with the original GoPro ND filters. The drawback is that you won't be able to take advantage of the firmware auto recognition, but once you watch the video till the end and you get to see how it's done, you're gonna be able to make even better choices than the firmware. Choosing the right ND filter is crucial, and this is where the patience kicks in. The most commonly used rule is the so-called 180-degree shutter rule. You basically want to maintain a half-shutter circle. In order to do so, here's the cheat sheet. If filming in 30 frames per second, you need to have shutter speed set at 1/60. For 24, you select 1/48. If you record in 60 frames per second, then the shutter should be 1/120 and so on. I usually record my videos at 24 frames per second, therefore I pick 1/48 or 1/50. I say 1/50 because not all action cameras support 1/48, but by 50 is close enough and gives you pretty much identical results. Now, the next thing you should do is to pick the right ND filter in order to achieve the right balance in terms of brightness, because you don't want the footage to be underexposed, you don't want to be too bright, and your biggest enemy in this situation would be the overexposure. Better record a little underexposed, because you can fix and improve it later on, as opposed to overblown, which in most cases is non-recoverable. Once you have the right choice for ND filter, and in most cases in 30 frames per second it will be the darkest one at midday, you can do some filming. If you are just starting the ND filter journey, I suggest keeping the ISO setting at auto. For advanced users, you know how to set it. The lowest you can go for with action camera is usually around 100. Configurations are as follows. For Osmo Action series, first select your recording resolution and frames per second, then swipe left to go to the manual exposure settings, set your preferred values about shutter speed and ISO, and you're done. For GoPro, you need to be in the mode letting you use Pro Tune. From the main screen, swipe up, choose the recording resolution and frame rate, then scroll down to the Pro Tune settings and switch from auto to the desired shutter speed value. And then apply the corresponding ND filter. Get the one that doesn't make the footage too dark, but be extra careful with the exposure because you don't want anything to be overblown. You can clearly spot the difference over here. It's the same scene, recorded with ND filter and without. More cinematic feeling on the left, and very sharp and aggressive on the right. But each one of these scenarios has its pros and cons. Since the point of this video is to be as helpful as possible, I invite you, do a recording, and if you're seeking for some feedback and practical advices, feel free to share a link to your footage in the comment section below the video, and me and other people will take a look and we'll happily give you some recommendations, or simply enjoy the footage that you have posted. Now, having said that many things, I believe it would be a good idea to make everything a bit more sorted, so that we think about which are the positives, but also note down which are the negatives of using ND filters. And if I'm missing something, feel free to add a comment with your thoughts. For sure, the cinematic look, this motion blur is pretty amazing and a lot more professional looking. You will record at a slower shutter speed as compared to the auto mode, which will usually transform into more optimal use of the image sensor dynamic range capacity. Also, only with ND filters you can eliminate the irritating screen flickering on many videos. You also have a lot greater dynamic control. All these fancy features, such as long exposure mode on the pixels, it's a way to mimic the use of the good old ND filters without the knowledge and the presence of actual hardware. A professionally trained eye, of course, can always spot the difference. Another bonus is that an ND filter represents one more layer in front of the camera lens. These are action cameras, so being better protected never harms. As for negatives, there are a few big ones to be noted down. Action cameras are still quite basic. Most of them do not have overexposure warnings. The best you can do is to get an Osmo Action camera, because they can at least have exposure meter, and as soon as you see it jumping above 1, means that you need to use a darker filter. For the record, in 90% of the cases with daytime footage, I was relying on the ND32 filter. The mighty GoPro doesn't have overexposure warnings at all, so your best shot is to carefully analyze the display input. If you see some texture in the clouds, it's probably fine. If not, use a darker filter. Another negative impact you're gonna notice is with image stabilization. It gets worse. Action cameras use high shutter speeds in order to offer better stabilization. The slower the shutter speed, the worse the EIS. In some cases, you may need a gimbal. So apparently ND filters are not practical for low-light scenes because they will only worsen the image quality and also require a bit of maintenance, such as cleaning and storing. Oh, and make sure to develop this idea as a habit. After every session with action camera when you're recording with ND filters, better bring the settings back to auto, just in case. You can never know who's gonna use the camera next or what kind of settings you will actually need, so auto is a very safe choice. So, what now? Well, just like everything else you want to master in your life, practicing. The more you practice, the better you get at using ND filters with action cameras. And I'm super thankful about all these efforts around creating the videos of electric scooters or the e-bikes or anything else you saw me recording with an action camera outdoors, because it has helped me to vastly improve my skills about understanding and using ND filters the right way. And in a matter of fact, there only are a very few accessories I usually carry with me, but definitely when I go out with a camera, regardless of the brand or the type, I have a set of ND filters with me. Even with my regular casual backpack, I have this tiny clip with a variable ND filter for my smartphone, and I use it all the time. Concerning the set for these Osmo Action and GoPro by TELESIN, once again, a big thanks to them for sponsoring the video. I'm really happy with the quality of these ND filters because they've performed really well. The distortions about colors are really minor and the effect is exactly as it should be with a good set of ND filters, and especially with the GoPro, the fact that you can easily remove it, that's priceless. I think much better and more convenient than the originals. So, if there's something else you want to add or ask, the comments below the video is the right place to do it. If you want to see more tutorials and reviews of cool tech, you can subscribe to the channel. Give me a like if you enjoyed that this far. Maybe you can become a member and support me even more in this journey to review more and cooler tech. I'm the Tech Mishka. Wish you a fantastic day. Bye.